In this video, I'm going to be designing a rack to hold these containers to store all my hardware in my woodshop. So first I'm going to just measure them, get a rough idea of how big they are, so I can size the rack accordingly, measuring the depth, measuring the thickness and the width, so I have an idea. And then also, because I'm stacking these, I'm going to be also checking to see how far apart they need to be. And these will be laying down, not standing up. So the design I'm going to do in SketchUp. I'm just using the free SketchUp online. And first I'm going to create the horizontals using the rectangle tool. And you can see here when I zoom in, I'm just typing in the actual length and thickness of the piece. And then once that's done, I'm just using the push-pull tool to again move up to 1.5 inches. So I'm going to use 2x2 cedar that I happen to have on hand, and then making it into components since I will be duplicating these. So then I also need uprights and to tie all the horizontals together. So again, I'm doing a 1.5 by 1.5 rectangle, or square in this case, to meet the dimensions of the cedar 2x2s. And then I'm going to pull it up with the push-pull tool again and make it 16 inches high. And then, like I said, we'll make another component. And then we can duplicate this one as well, since we do need some horizontals. So I'm going to use the move tool with the option key pressed and move it over to be able to align it hopefully with the end there. I'm going to have to actually orbit around a bit to, there we go, that's better. And then I'm going to just snap it to that end of the horizontal. I'm going to grab it by the midpoint and I'm going to move it over, and I'm going to actually just constrain it to the line using the arrow key, and then find that midpoint of that horizontal, and that way that piece is exactly in the middle. Then we're going to do the same with the horizontal. I need 2, and you'll see why at the end. And again with move tool with the option key pressed. And then I'm going to just make sure that I space out the horizontals enough, and I'm going to do 3.5, so I've created a guideline there. And again, option key held down, move tool, and that moves it into the right location. Repeat with, again, a 3.5 inch guideline, and again, another move. And then to get the same horizontals on the back side, we'll just again use the move tool, option key held down, drag it over, and keep it just horizontally constrained, again with an arrow key. And so that's the basis of it. So the way that that'll work is the bins will sit on top of those horizontals on their side. And I'm just checking the width to make sure that in this case 3 will fit comfortably along that one section. So we'll have 6 on each tier. I delete the guidelines as well. Now the other thing we need to do, or I need to do, is I need to make sure that this is tipped slightly backwards so that the bins don't fall out. And so I'm just going to be creating a thin wedge, and so I'm making the wedge 12 inches long but only 0.75 deep, but again 1.5 inches wide. Okay, so then what we'll do is actually make a wedge out of it. So I'll use the line tool And then I'm going to use the push-pull tool to actually just get rid of that section. If you drag it all the way to the 1.5 mark, it then just disappears. So now we have a wedge. So then the next step is to actually rotate. Well, we'll make a component first because I need a few of these wedges. Duplicate the wedge. Again, move tool, option key held down, and I'm just going to align it up with that other horizontal upright, and then again here, constraining it. And the wedges are done, but now the problem is I need to rotate this whole assembly, and I'm just selecting all of it. I could group it, but I'm not going to bother. I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to rotate it along that bottom edge there, or the bottom corner, and then just snap it to the wedge. Now you can see that when I mount it on the wall, it'll be slightly angled back so that the bins will stay in place. And yeah, essentially this is done. Now it's just a matter of grabbing some wood and to start putting it together in the next video. Thanks for watching.